So far, I have been adjusting nicely to the uni life. Although, if I have to be honest, staying at UITM doesn't feel too different from boarding school, other than the fact that I have much more freedom with going out, the outfits, and the time I have on my hand. I'll admit, I'm much of a procrastinator, so my time management has not yet improved in the slightest. Probably a bit. I'm working on it constantly, of course. I think my skills in learning has improved a lot compared to back in high school. I have gotten more confident in my presentation and I have also been taking effective notes during classes, which is something I had long forgotten to do in high school. I've changed my learning style a lot, with a little bit of improv I took from my old learning style because it works so well for me. It's good. I'm happy. Haven't been so smooth for me because I had a pretty laid back during the first 3 weeks, and that was my biggest mistake ever. But I'm learning from the mistakes, and inshallah, things will be better, and I am trying my absolute best. If I were to say, I am not much of an ambitious person. So I have not yet figured out my other long-term goals other than getting the fourth flat in academic. I know it's my fault for not thinking it through, but I am still figuring it out, and it is really up to me to fix it myself. So I started off with these goals I set for myself. Since I have very short attention span, I have to constantly set these daily goals for me every day so I won't get too distracted or have too much time on my hands. Some of it are challenging, while a few ones are ones that I've been working with religiously. So you could say I have been getting the hang of it. For example, one of my long-term goals is to get rid of my laziness. So I had included one of the things I do to get rid of my laziness is to remind myself to sleep only when needed or after I had done studying. This way, I had set my mind to remember to focus during the study and not be interrupted by anything else. It works very well. I haven't been too sleepy before I started studying, which is something that often happens before this. Don't worry, I am not yet done with it. I am just getting started with these goals. My time management is the worst that I see, but I'm working on it little by little. I have been religiously following the weekly planner I made for study, especially for the killer subjects that have 3 credit hour. I have made exclusive schedules made strictly for these subjects. And to add on, I also uses a few apps to help me remind me of things I need to do, since I need to juggle a lot between studying and other things as a uni student, which is very challenging, I should say. When it comes to memorizing, I always rewrite the notes I wrote in class so that in the way that I could better understood it. I also uses acronym for parts that classifies into categories and subcategories into something that is fun and easy to remember. I also watch videos and start doing practices based on the topic of the videos. I uses flashcard to remember the keywords to the question's answer. I also study with friends, as it is easier to understand the topics by re-explaining it to them. And it also helps me remember important points easier when studying with them. Not to mention, it's a lot of fun. When it comes to writing notes, I would use my special lecture-only notebook and then rewrite the notes in a better way when I got back home. Because as you can see, my handwriting in class is not that illegible as I am in a rush. I would list out the important point mentioned by the lecturers in my lectures notes so I could understand and see things better and rewrite it in my own sentence later on. I would also highlight important keywords so it would be easier for me to review the necessary topic later on. While I do admit being a university student now made me use the AI help a lot, I did not take the privilege for granted. I would mainly use it for research or help me in generating out-of-the-box ideas that I probably couldn't think of. Other than that, I would avoid the use at all costs if I am more than capable of doing the work myself. If I am in need of urgent help or aid, then I would go to my friends or ask directly from the lecturers instead. I am well aware plagiarism is wrong and knows the consequences of said action. Therefore, I would always do my best to abide by the written rules. Considering my ability, I really wish I could get the 4 flat right away, but that would be too out of reach. Which is not impossible, but it would be too big of a dream. So I aim for 3.5 instead. Wish me luck, everyone.